Hi friends, you're watching movie reviews with Raghuram. Mumbai Diaries 2611, the web series, is what I'm reviewing in this particular video. 2611 is a very hard emotion for the people of Mumbai and the people of India to tolerate. Even remembering that particular date gives goosebumps. That was the night of horrible nightmares. That was the night of barbarian act, inexcusable barbarian act. That was the night when the terrorists mercilessly killed and wounded lots of people in Mumbai in a very well programmed attack. It started on 26th November 2008, and 4 long days, the terrorism, the dance of terrorism, the barbarian act of terrorism took over the humanity, and it destroyed the humanity and goodness. That is inexcusable act, that is inexcusable and unforgettable incident for Indians. Very bitter, very painful, very sad. Whenever I think about that particular incident, goosebumps, really the tears start flowing, the heart starts thumping, and all the mechanisms in the body looks like taking a pause. Such horrible barbarian act that was. We have seen a lot of movies and web series which are picturized on this particular incident of 2611 terrorist attacks on Mumbai at various places. The storytelling has been comprehensively done in various movies by various directors, and it has been enacted by many good actors, and we have lots and lots of movies and web series made on this particular topic. And now Mumbai Diaries 2611, this web series, which has premiered on Amazon Prime. How different is this particular series in comparison to the other movies and web series made on this particular topic? I tell, this web series is really awesome. At the same time, it is very painful to see the incidents happening in front of your eyes as picturized by the director or the director duo in this particular web series. Hats off to them. The web series definitely is saddening. It reminds you of the past incidents, and it makes you saddened, and it makes you feel, and your heart goes out to those people, those victims of that particular incident. But why I said awesome is because the web series has been shot and made with a very good plan and execution, and it definitely leaves an impact. It definitely leaves an impact on your heart and soul. Such good is the web series. I definitely liked the web series Mumbai Diaries 2611. Why this web series becomes special is because the narrative is from the doctor's perspective. The story has been said from the angle of the doctors who faced the challenge, the doctors who handled the scenario, those unsung heroes, the doctors, the unsung heroes who treated the victims of 2611 attacks. They took the challenge, they did not take food, they spent sleepless nights. So whatever, being a doctor myself, I'm really proud to have seen this web series. Doctors are unsung heroes in many conditions. Two good things, you are praised and you are equal to God. Vaidyo Narayano Hari, people tell. And one mistake, people don't even consider that a doctor is human being. One mistake, even an unintentional mistake, will make a doctor a villain. We have seen assaults and attacks on doctors, and people should see this web series to realize how the doctors fight out, give their life to save the life of others. They don't even bother the circumstances. In this particular web series, as I said, the narrative of 2611 incidents is from doctor's perspective, from surgeon's perspective. Bombay General Hospital is the place where the story of Mumbai Diaries 2611 runs. Of course, the web series makers have changed the name of the hospital. I felt the name of the hospital and the name of Taj Hotel should have been retained. Even the Taj Hotel has been named as the Palace Hotel in the web series. Forget that. They have changed the names of the hospital and the hotel. It doesn't matter. But still, the series covers the story of 2611 from the vision of doctors. I feel if the name of the hospital and the name of the hotel would have been retained, because they have used 2611, they have used the word Mumbai Diaries in the title. I don't know where was the hesitancy of not using the Taj Hotel's name or the Kama Hospital, if I'm not wrong, or whatever hospital treated these victims. Due credit should have been given to that particular hospital, at least by naming that hospital. But it is okay. This is one small thing which we can ignore in the web series. Other than that, everything is good. At places, it looks like the web series has been over dramatized, and it looks like over fictionalized. But yes, we need to see it as a story, as the web series. Nothing can be shown as it is, because as it is, nothing can be covered. So already the incident has happened. It is only a perspective, and we need to respect the perspective. And this is a really damn good perspective of covering this particular web series from the doctor's perspective. They have given respect, and also this is a tribute, this is a dedication to all those doctors who have selflessly served, who have taken the challenge in those critical conditions, not even considering what is going to happen to them. They have just handled, they treated the cops, they treated the security guards, they treated the personals of anti-terrorist squad, and they also treated the terrorists without any differentiation between the person is a terrorist or a victim. Great are those doctors, and I think a dedication was on cards. It should have been given by someone to those doctors, and this perspective should have been told in the web series. And I feel the web series makers have done a decent and genuine job. For me, this stands out as one of the best web series I have seen. Even as a human being and as a doctor, I felt connected. What do you need more than that? A story which connects to you, a story in which you get involved, a story as if you feel you are standing inside the hospital and watching every incident happening in front of your eyes, and a story which touches your soul, which makes you weep, which brings some tears in your eyes, which emotionally touches you at all chords. What else is needed? Impact to the maximum, I tell, is the web series Mumbai Diaries 2611. Hats off, sir. Hats off for you people for having made this web series, and for having made this web series to such an impact, such a point of impact where it directly hits one's soul and heart. Coming to the synopsis of the story, nothing new or nothing special except the doctor's perspective. As I said, the terrorists attacked Taj Hotel and 6 or 7 or 8 more places as planned. And that is the story of that particular incident. And couple of terrorists are brought into the Bombay hospital, the Bombay hospital as the hospital has been named in this web series. Couple of terrorists are brought there, and the doctor, the chief surgeon, Dr. Kaushik, treats those terrorists well. And this message spreads along in a wrong way, because there is a person who is leaking the information. There is a nurse, male nurse, who is leaking the information from the hospital, and there is also a reporter who has come in disguise into the hospital to cover the things live, and also for the TRP of her channel. And this reporter also at last, at the end of the web series, goes out of the hospital realizing what she did was wrong, and she should not have done that. And when the news that the terrorists are there in the hospital goes to the terrorists attack the hospital to rescue their counterparts or friends from the hospital. And when this happens, a collateral damage and collateral damage, everything is imposed on the hospital itself. Though there is police force there, though the police force tries to secure and help these people, the doctors had to fight their own war. One side saving the patients, another side saving the hospital, another side saving the victims, and another side saving their own lives. At the same time, living in a scare of terrorism. The terrorists have entered the hospital, and in that fear they have to handle each and every scenario. They have to evacuate each and every department. They have to evacuate each and every corner of the hospital and secure each and every person. Though there were police, though there were people, responsible people to secure and guard them, but the doctors, the nurses, the entire hospital staff had to come on their heels to protect their people, to protect their staff and also their patients. That was the need of the hour, and that was a big challenge thrown at the doctors. The doctors are not equipped for the state of war, and it was a state of war, the terrorists being in front of their eyes, the totally darkened hospital where from the terrorists are coming, how many terrorists are coming, they don't know. From where the attack is on, they don't know, but they had to be well equipped for this, and they're not trained for this. In spite of that, they take it as a challenge and do the things in an adventurous way which even they might not have thought of. So what happens to the hospital at the end with the doctors and the cops and the security personals? Would they be able to help these people out? How many people died? How many people were saved? What was the state of attack inside the hospital, and what exactly happened in that particular hospital on that night, that is 26/11, is all about Mumbai attacks 26/11. Boss, you have to see the last 3 episodes. The 6th episode starts goosebumps goosebumps, and you are put into a state of shock watching every moment. I watched 6th, 7th, and 8th episode without interruption, not even taking a minute break. I did not want to go anywhere. I just was curious to know what happened next, what happened next, what happened to this person, what happened to that person, what happened to the doctor, what happened to the junior doctors, what happened to the nurses, what happened to the patients, how would they face the terrorist attack, and whether the terrorists will be killed, whether they will be managing to escape along with their counterparts, or what exactly happens, how many cops lose their life. Everything is shown in the last 3 episodes. I tell, it becomes a medical thriller. It becomes one big thrilling ride, boss. Last 3 episodes, awesome. Hats off for those last 3 episodes. Lot of emotional moments there. You will be connected to the story. You feel as if you're in the hospital and you are one person who is trying to save another person and trying to save your life at the same time. If you find yourself in their place, you will definitely have goosebumps, and your heart, your all vital organs will stop at that particular moment. Watch out for those moments, and the actors performing those characters come out. They did not perform the acting. They did not do the acting in the web series. Almost all the actors, they lived those characters. And to the perfection. I seriously felt what might have happened to those people who have enacted those roles in this particular web series. After how many days would they have recovered from that trauma of recreating 2611? It is unimaginable. Now, after having said all these things, let me come to the key roles, the people who made 2611 possible. MohitRaina, yes, MohitRaina, my favorite actor. I keep telling, the Devonka Dev Mahadev. Here I felt the Mahadev himself has come in the form of Dr. Kaushik. What a performance. What a performance by MohitRaina. Hats off, sir. You can pull out any role, and as a surgeon, you really looked like a surgeon and not like MohitRaina. That was your impact in the acting. Hats off to you. MohitRaina plays the role of Dr. Kaushik Oberoi in the web series. He is the head of trauma and surgery department. He is a sort of eccentric surgeon, like he can do any weird things to save the life of the patient. To save the life of the patient is his first motive. What he does, even he doesn't know many times. He is a man who breaks the rules. He is very, very popular as the surgeon who doesn't stick to the protocol, who breaks rules to save lives. Break rules to save lives. Fantastic. He can conduct a surgery on the road, in the corridor, in the reception, on the floor, in the ward, on the surgical table. Everywhere he can do, and he doesn't lose his nerve. You have to see his expressions at the time of conducting the surgery. He looks like a man possessed to save the life. That is the character which MohitRaina lived and has not enacted. Hats off. This is one of the terrific roles which has been performed by MohitRaina. MohitRaina for me is the strongest character of this web series, and he is the person who is really responsible for the success of the majority of the portion or the part of the web series Mumbai Diaries 2611. He is not only saving lives, he is also fighting with his inner demons. He has some personal issues. He has a traumatized relationship with his wife. His wife is serving in the Taj Hotel, which is not named as Taj Hotel but has been named as Palace Hotel in this particular web series. She is working there. She is in charge of the security, and he has a strangulated or traumatized relationship with her because of particular events. He feels that as a husband, he was not perfect and he did not stand for her when she needed him the most, and that is why the relationship has been in those turmoils. So he is fighting in between his personal life and professional life, and nowhere at no point he allows his personal life to interfere with his professional life. While he is on one side trying to contact his wife Ananya, who is working in the Palace Hotel, on one side he is trying to contact her and he is not able to contact her. On the other side, he is trying to save the lives. He is trying to perform the surgeries and trying to save the lives. Not only trying, he even saves the life of many people. At a particular point, he tries to save the life of a terrorist, and then the police officer there puts him on a gunpoint and tells, you cannot save the life of a terrorist. And then MohitRaina tells, Mr. Sir, we are doctors and we just look at the bodies and we don't look at the characters of the people. Whether it is a terrorist or a human being or a civilian, they are patients. The life is a life for me and I'm definitely going to save the life. So many people in the hospital oppose MohitRaina, oppose Dr. Kaushik for saving the terrorist, one of those terrorists who had created havoc everywhere in Mumbai. But he doesn't care. For him, it was life. At a particular point in the web series, you start feeling, was it really genuine enough on the part of Dr. Kaushik to save that terrorist life? But from his perspective, from doctor's perspective, Vaidyo Narayano Hari, he was a god. He saved a life, not a terrorist there. And the impact of that particular incident, as many people tell, including the CMO of the hospital has to face, because the terrorists attacked the hospital only after knowing that the terrorists are there in the hospital, and the terrorists were treated by a particular doctor named Kaushik. So in a way, he was directly or indirectly responsible for that attack, but the news was leaked by somebody else that should have been kept. So here the failure of the system was very important. At some particular point, MohitRaina tells it is not the failure of a particular person or department, but it is the failure of the system. Now let's come to Ananya. Ananya is a wife of Dr. Kaushik. She is F&B services head at the Palace Hotel, and she takes the responsibility of saving so many lives, just like her husband is saving lives in the hospital. She saves plenty of lives in the hotel. And once on phone, she tells her husband Kaushik, when they happen to communicate with each other, there is no difference between your job and my job. We are trying to save lives. Tina Desai's role as Ananya is short but sweet. Now we'll come to another important character, Chitra Das. Chitra Das is a social services director in the hospital, in the Mumbai hospital, and the role has been performed by or lived by KonkanaSenSharma. Such a brilliant actress she is. She has lived to her character. So what it means to be a social services director, you watch the web series and you will come to know. So she brings such people to tell in a nutshell, she brings such people who really need medical care and have nobody to care them. She admits them in the hospital and makes sure they are given thorough attention. KonkanaSenSharma has done a terrific job as Chitra Das. Watch out for her also. Another important character, Dr. Subramaniam. Dr. Subramaniam, the Chief Medical Officer of the Bombay Hospital, played by Prakash Belwadi sir. Prakash Belwadi sir. What a role. What a dignified role. He is trying to balance between the conditions, and what a performance he has given. At a point, he tells the cops, this is my hospital. I have the authority to take care of my patients, to evacuate them from the hospital. If you can't do it, I will do it. And such a brilliant officer. As I said, he tries to strike balance between every activity happening in the hospital with a calm mind. Such is the calm mind. One of the cops tells that only you can run this mad hospital. Only you can run this mad hospital. Yes, Prakash Belwadi, terrific performance. Mad hospital, because the Bombay hospital has been showed in such a disarray, such a horrible environment. A person can tell I can die but can never get admitted into that hospital. Such a scenario is hospital. Such disorganized hospital, in spite of having good doctors, good junior doctors, good nursing staff, good medical service, everything, the hospital is very, very ill organized. At sometimes there are no equipments, at sometimes there are no facilities, at sometimes there are no beds at all. There is no space, there is no place. And this hospital tries to save so many victims rushing into the hospital. There is no place, but they make place for every human life in the hospital. That was very, very important. Surgeries are conducted on the floors. Surgeries are conducted and lives are saved in the corridors, because they did not have the place in the wards or the operation theaters. Just watch the web series and you will understand why I mentioned that the hospital was in a horrible condition, and why the cop called it as a mad hospital or a maddened hospital. Then we will come to the character of Mansi, the journalist, played by Shreya Dhanvantri. Shreya Dhanvantri is another fantastic actress. She doesn't have a big role. In the beginning, she is trying to cover the incidents live because she wants a TRP. My story, my story, my story, my story, she keeps telling. She even covers a shootout and sends the footage to her newsroom. And then she's also getting information from one of the staff nurses from the hospital, what is exactly going on inside. She wants to cover the total news when she learns that a couple of cops have been killed and some terrorists have been saved inside the hospital. She immediately disguises herself as a patient. She does all sorts of drama, gets into the hospital, gets herself admitted, and then starts investigating what exactly has happened. She wants footages, she wants news, and at last she also helps the patients, she helps the doctors, and at last she realizes what it means to be a doctor, what it means to save the lives. So the girl who has come to cover things live and for TRP and for footages goes out with a point of realization that it is not the footages, it is not the live coverages, but the human lives matter a lot. Shreya Dhanvantri has given a terrific performance. And we have 3 first-year surgical residents. They report on the first day. Just guess what nightmares you could undergo, how in a shocking position you can be. It is the first day that you have reported as residents or as learning doctors under Dr. Kaushik, and Dr. Kaushik puts you under all sorts of horrible surgical operations. He takes your help in everything, in all the surgical operations or the interventions to save the lives of people. These three kids, the residents who have reported on the first day, they have done a terrific job. I'll just spell out or read out the names of those characters who have played those three residential doctors. Satyajit Dubey plays the role of Dr. Ahan. He has done a terrific role. He is insulted by a cop and also by a nurse for being of a different religion, the religion similar to those of the terrorists, and they tell you people are all the same. And he has to go through those religion barriers and also the stereotypes to prove that he is a doctor who has no other business than saving the lives. That is really painful. I don't know why people discriminate people on the basis of caste, religion, and other things. Strictly no boss for these things. Satyajit Dubey has done a very good role. Natasha Bharadwaj plays the role of another resident. Dr. Dia Parekh is her name in the web series. Her parents are trapped in the Palace Hotel. She is also in duality, just like Dr. Kaushik. Her parents are trapped there. The terrorists are there in the Palace Hotel, and she has to assist the surgery here. She has to save lives. She is in duality. She is not able to contact the parents. And the duality she shows, the way she has enacted her role is brilliant. Murunmayi Deshpande plays the role of Dr. Sujata, other surgical resident. She has also done a very decent job. At times, the patients insult, including a cop insults her by telling that you are a new resident and I don't want to be treated by you. In spite of that, her anguish, her desire, her confusions in handling those cases, and how she sticks to her job and how she plays a very important role in saving many lives. She has done a very good job. Her role is really good. So there are many other actors who have given a very good performance in this particular web series, Mumbai Diaries 2611. But these were the key actors, these were the key roles which defined the entire web series to the perfection. Yes, Pushkar Raj plays the role of Nurse Samarth. His role is also really good. He is the person who is leaking the information from inside the hospital. And last, the point of realization where he reaches is ultimate. His role is also really good. Akshar Chetan as Inspector Mayank, the arrogant Inspector Mayank, has also done a decent job. And Sandesh Kulkarni as ACP Taude. His role is also really good in the web series. Nikhil Advani and Nikhil Gonzalez, the Nikhil duo, have directed this web series, and a big salute to both of them. No other words, sir. Big salute. Absolute brilliant direction, spot on. The cameras, the camera work was spot on. The direction, the cinematography, everything was spot on. Hats off to you people. At the same time, the music, the couple of songs which play in the backdrop are really touching. The BGM is really good and syncs to each and every scene. And let me come to the lacunae or some negative points of the web series. You might think that I have been biased and did not tell any negative points about this particular web series. It's not like that. So I felt too many episodes, like 4 or 5 episodes were used to build up the actual plot of the web series, and I felt, though this looks like a negative point for some people because not much action was happening in the first 4 or 5 episodes, but the story has to be built, the foundation has to be built. I felt, though from a perspective it looks like a negative point, from another perspective they were building the characters, strong characters who would come into play, who would come into enact in the last 3 episodes, and all those incidents, and they beautifully connected the different scenarios or the incidents taking place in Mumbai. So another negative point one could think is the Mumbai attacks, 2611 attacks are not shown properly. The NSGs or the commandos or the security personals or the cops participating there and operating to perfection to finish off the terrorists, to kill the terrorists, and all those incidents have not been picturized or shown well. I feel from the other perspective, though this looks like a negative point, many movies and many web series have shown this particular incidents in depth, in detail. What was the need? So here the intention was clear to show the web series from the doctor's perspective, and that is why those incidents are just highlighted there. Many people may even have trouble because even the firing, the shootout, the attacking the terrorists and the police terrorist encounter, many shots have been taken in a slow motion picture. So that may also be an obstacle for the success of a particular, because it doesn't make impact at a particular point. Slow motion pictures doesn't make too much impact. But again, the terrorism was not at all a point what needs to be shown in this particular web series from the director's perspective. I feel it was only about the doctors and saving lives rather than showing the terrorism, the act of terrorism, and the war between police and terrorists, the aftermath, the post-op procedure, what we can call it as, or the post-attack conditions, how they were handled. That was the main thing which was tried to be covered in this particular web series. I find no negativities there also. And whatever action you miss in the first 5 episodes, everything is compensated for in the last 3 episodes. I bet that, I am sure that you will love the episodes. As you go towards 6th, 7th and 8th episode, you will definitely feel the episodes are gripping. Yes, I can tell that here and there the web series looks slow and in a turtle pace. Again, the directors or the project makers were trying to build up some particular plot in those scenes also. And when you need to show human relationships, interactions between the doctor and their family members, and the discussions which were happening in the hotel between the people, the different emotions need to be shown, and the directors cannot rush there. There is no rush and push. The things have to go in a slow and streamed way, isn't it? You cannot move those scenes in a fast paced or fast motion or speed motion things. I don't think that could have been done there. Again, I feel the negative point is retaining the name of the hotel and the hospital. The directors could have retained the original names, and for their own reasons, probably they have changed the names and tried to play safe here. So apart from saving the life of the patients, apart from guarding their hospital and taking charge of those circumstances, those critical circumstances there, the doctors also had to face the media. The media rushes outside, and they had to manage the police inside. They had to manage a lot of queries from the curious patients, what was going on in the hospital. The situations were panic everywhere, and they needed to manage those situations in a very effective way. So the peace, the mental balance, and also the counseling of the patients in those difficult circumstances is always a challenge to the doctors. The challenges posed to the doctors in critical scenarios is perfectly picturized in this particular web series. And as I already said, this is the perfect dedication to the doctors. And this is my review. This is my detailed, in-depth review of Mumbai Diaries 2611 web series. You can watch this web series on Amazon Prime Video. I feel if the makers of this web series watch my review, they might think that this is the 9th episode of the web series, because my review has taken its own time and has stretched to the extent of at least 1 episode of the web series. And I would dedicate this video of mine to all the doctors, to all the surgeons, to all my doctor friends, and to myself being a doctor. Hats off and heartful and soulful thanks to the makers of Mumbai Diaries 2611. Thanks for watching my video. If you loved my video, kindly like, share and subscribe to my channel. I'll catch up with you all in my next video with yet another movie review. Until then, do take care. Goodbye. Namaste.